He was considered by many as the #1 recruit in the class of 2008 and was destined to be a star in the NBA. But whatever happened to Brandon Jennings? Jennings attended Dominguez High School in Compton, California for his freshman and sophomore years. But by his junior year, he would transfer to Oak Hill Academy. And in his last year of high school at Oak Hill Academy, he would average 35.5 points per game and set the school record for points in a season with 1,312. And this performance would earn him a plethora of high school basketball's most prestigious awards, such as the 2008 Naismith Prep Player of the Year Award, the 2007-2008 Gatorade Player of the Year Award, the 2008 Parade Magazine Player of the Year Award, and the 2008 EA Sports Player of the Year Award. Yeah, Brandon Jennings was really good. I mean, he led his 2006-2007 high school basketball team to a 41-1 record and was the #1 high school basketball team in the nation according to USA Today. And with that said, Jennings would become a highly touted prospect. He was a 5-star and, depending on the recruiting site, the #1 player in the nation for the class of 2008, and would garner college scholarship offers from Arizona, Connecticut, Kentucky, Kansas, USC, and many others. And Jennings would initially commit to USC, but would decommit and then recommit to the University of Arizona, citing that he wanted to play alongside Jared Bayless. But instead, he would shock the basketball world, announcing that rather than college, he was going to go play in Europe until he turned 19, and would be eligible to enter the NBA draft in 2009, and that's exactly what he did. He was signed with Lottomatica Roma for a $1.65 million guaranteed deal, not to mention also earned a $2 million endorsement deal with Under Armour. Now, at the time, this seemingly successful move had a lot of people wondering if this was the new model for elite recruits. But then, in that first and only season in Europe, Jennings had some lackluster numbers. I mean, in 27 games, he only averaged about 5.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, that being said, he was still a young player growing and improving. And with that thinking, would be drafted 10th overall in the 2009 NBA draft to the Milwaukee Bucks. And that move by the Bucks drafting him at 10th overall appeared to be a steal when Jennings debuted. He had 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists, and would continue to thrive and succeed in the following games. So much so that people were thinking that he'd already be an all-star in his rookie season. And that thought was pretty much cemented on November 15th when, in Jennings' just 7th NBA game, torched the Warriors with 55 points after going scoreless in the first quarter. And not only was he the youngest player ever to score 55 points, but he also broke Kareem's record for most points scored by a rookie. And this whole 55 points against the Warriors was particularly funny because the media started questioning if the Warriors should have drafted Jennings 7th overall, because the Warriors schmuck of a 7th overall pick had just 14 points and 4 rebounds in 26 minutes off the bench. That would be Steph Curry. Now, after his initial success, Jennings had some very good seasons with the Bucks, but he never really lived up to the expectations long term. He'd be named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team in 2010, but never did make an All-Star team. Injuries would cut his second and third seasons short, but he would end up averaging about 19 points per game in 66 games his third season. And when free agency came around following his 4th year, he declined an extension with the Bucks, and rather was part of a sign-and-trade deal with the Pistons, but his production wasn't so good, and he battled injuries. And following Detroit, he had stints with the Orlando Magic, the New York Knicks, and the Washington Wizards, before eventually playing in the CBA for the Brave Dragons, where in 13 games, he averaged almost 28 points per game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. I mean, he balled out. He was then acquired by the Wisconsin Herd of the NBA G League in 2018, and would then sign a 10-day contract with the Bucks, and nearly had a triple-double, and then signed a second 10-day contract with the Bucks, and then signed a multi-year contract, but was then waived. And then lastly in 2018, signed a 1-year deal with a team in Russia, but things didn't really work out. And now Brandon Jennings currently owns and runs his own luxury streetwear brand. It is called Tough Crowd and includes t-shirts, hats, golf apparel, and much more.